Ah, Valentine's Day, a day to express your undying love and admiration to somebody. A day when Americans shell out over 25.8 billion with a B dollars every year. Valentine's Day currently ranks as the third priciest holiday in American culture, and today we're going to be talking about how you as a reseller can get your piece of that pie. Here are your Valentine's Day bolos. All right. I found so many amazing bolos when researching for this video, so these are in no particular order. I just couldn't decide what to place first on the list. Definitely stay tuned to the end because, again, these are not in graduated order. You're gonna miss out on like $1,000 bolo somewhere maybe in the middle of this list. And some of these, I guarantee, are things that you're walking right by in your thrift store. First on the list, what Valentine's Day bolo list would be complete without vintage Valentines? Some of these prices absolutely blew my mind. The top two lots were from the same seller. Both were for over 800 vintage Valentines. One of them, the top spot, sold for $640. That was with 19 bidders, guys. $30 shipping. I don't know that it would cost $30, but perhaps. The second one, about an $80 difference here, $565. More bidders though, 24 bids on that one. And I want you to just check out the dates here. One of these sold on December 8th. So even if you're watching this video after Valentine's Day, it's proof that as the third priciest holiday in American culture, Valentine's Day stuff sells all year round. These adorable vintage Hallmark self-mailers, the seller took a best offer. It looks like they were on sale for $409. Not exactly sure what the best offer was on that. All of these examples have been lots of Valentines, 800 Valentines at a time. But guys, you're gonna be shocked to know how much some of these single vintage Valentines sold for. This one is a rare vintage antique framed Valentine, plain art. They didn't even fill up all of the title there, but the keywords that they did use were fantastic. And if we zoom in on this one, you can see it is filled with fantastic detail. Guys, this one Valentine in a frame sold for $245 plus $25 shipping. I'm willing to bet that the seller probably could have made it easier on themselves and shipped this without a frame, but the Valentine is well preserved in there, so I can understand their reluctancy to do so. Here's another single Valentine with 7 bids. This one was bid up to $236.50 plus $4.95 shipping. This is a Valentine's Day card from the 1800s, you guys. Absolutely gorgeous. One Valentine over $200. It just blows my mind. I thought this card was pretty interesting. It's a vintage 1840s Valentine. Now it said proposal mirror ducks, and inside of this card is a mirror. It says, "Dear, I swear to love you dearly and I'm ready to kiss the book at any time." So I guess maybe did kiss the book at one point mean propose to get married? Regardless, this one card sold for $215.50 plus shipping. There were 8 bidders on that one. The multiple bids on all of these auctions prove that the buyers in the Valentine's Day category are certainly collectors. They are passionate about collecting all things love and hearts and Valentines, and when they're vintage, that price really goes up. 2 vintage ceramics brands that just kept showing up in my Valentine's Day research were Napco and Lefton. These vintage Napco ceramic Valentine's Day pair of Cupid's candle holder, HTF, which stands for hard to find. Great. Just look at the details on these. Guys, every comp that I'm showing you today is a sold comp. I zoomed in on the listing, so you're not seeing that green word sold, but every one of these did sell, and this one sold for $325.99 plus $12.50 shipping. Here's another vintage Napco. This is a ceramic planter, just a little vase. I can tell you, if this was at my thrift store, and when I say my thrift store, I mean the thrift store that I shop at, it would be less than $5. I could honestly see them they put out Napco and Lefton all the time for like 50 cents. A lot of the pieces can be worth $5, $10, but when you find something like this, if I found this for $5 or 50 cents, guys, it sold for $199.99 plus $9.80 shipping. Here's an example of vintage Valentine Lefton. The title is Vintage Lefton Valentine Planter. So again, just a little ceramic planter. Shy boy girl ceramic angel heart vase rare. Now there is a number here, 2772, and I'm going to show you what that number corresponds to. It's important when you see a number like that to know how it corresponds to Lefton, and I'll explain that to you in just a moment, but I just want to point out this one sold for $500, like $499.99 plus $12.30 shipping. That is a paid for sale on eBay. Now I have shown you an example here of the bottom of a Lefton piece. You can see that number written out again. When you see a ceramic piece like this, it makes it a lot easier to look up, but it also is a good marking identifier as it potentially being Lefton. So if I found a ceramics piece like this, I could type in Lefton with this number, see if my same ceramics piece comes up as a comp. And I'll show you guys on these particular ceramic pieces, they say 7173, but there's also a Lefton sticker on these. That is what the Lefton brand looks like. When you see that, or a Napco sticker looks pretty similar, but often is in blue with Napco, pick them up, run comps on that number. But when the sticker falls off and it's just the number, understand that might be Napco. The bottom of those 7173 figures go to these three Lefton Valentine's Day girls holding hearts, and they sell consistently $175. It looks like there's actually potentially a set of 4 of these. They're just 4-inch tall little figures, and you're close to $200, over 150 bucks when you find those. Back to Napco on this one. This is actually a Easter bunny Valentine's Day planter. Is it an Easter bolo? Is it a Valentine's Day bolo? It's a Napco bolo, so I'm including it here. They took a best offer off of $120. Here's a beautiful little vintage mid-century Lefton Valentine's Day ceramic planter. This one sold for $102, and there were 29 bidders. 29 individual bidders all vying to own this Lefton piece. Lefton and Napco are definitely where it's at when it comes to mid-century ceramics. Now I mentioned it before, but I just want to mention it again because I don't want someone to think, you know, every Lefton piece, every Napco piece is an absolute home run. Here are some pieces that sold for $3.99, $5.50, $9.90. Again, if you're getting them for a quarter 50 cents, it's a no-brainer. Pick them up every time. But if you are at an estate sale, a yard sale, a thrift store, and they want a little bit more, ensure that you're running comps. You could have a gold bun, or you could have a $4 piece. I will tell you though, along with that caveat, that every bit of it does sell. Currently there are 183 active listings for Lefton Valentine and 195 sold. So it's more than 100% sell-through rate. It absolutely will sell. It's just for how much. Lenox is also a very popular porcelain and ceramic brand, and if you ever come across the Lenox Valentine's Day ornaments, pick those up. Another item that I saw consistent sales at over $200, guys. This is what those look like out of the box. If you find them in the box, not necessarily even better. I'm unsure because the seller that listed them for $275 did take a best offer. But in the box, they sold for $209.99 plus $10.75 shipping. Again, if you see them out of the box, this is what they look for. Pick them up. They are the Lenox Be My Valentine mini tree ornaments. There are 12 of them. What kind of reseller would I be? What kind of eBay seller would I be if I talked about a holiday bolo list and I didn't talk about blow molds? I know Valentine's Day is probably the last holiday sorry, hang on. My mail worker is just walking up to the door. I'm not expecting a package or anything. Hang on a second, guys. This is actually really perfect. Like, how appropriate for this to show up in the middle of a Valentine's Day video. I have to open this up. Wait till you guys see this. Oh my gosh, I can already smell this. No, it's not food. Oh, it's so pretty, and it's not even open yet. Okay, hang on. Look at this. I know it just looks like a black velvet hat box, but this is actually, this is a bouquet of flowers. This is from Rose Forever, New York. If you ever wondered what to get someone for Valentine's Day, or if you're tired of spending money every single year on Valentine's Day flowers, oh my God. Look at this. These are not faux flowers. These are not silk. Holy cow. I had no idea they were so richly fragranced. Like, it just smells like you just sprayed rose perfume or something in the air. Again, not silk. These are preserved roses, preserved flowers. Here's the kicker. So you buy these for Valentine's Day, and next year, these are still around. Yeah, you don't have to water them. All you do is lightly dust them if they need dusting. Rose Forever New York sent me these just in time for Valentine's Day as just a special gift. But they wanted to offer you guys a gift too. If you get on the Rose Forever New York website, which I'll link below in my description, guys, they have like 60% off right now, but you can save an additional $30 $30 with my code RS30, and you can even get them shipped for free with code influencer. A lot of their codes and promotions are stackable on their website, so I'm just confident you're gonna get a good deal, but that 60% sale goes off soon. Thank you again so much, Rose Forever. You guys go check them out. This is the way to buy flowers in 2024. Okay, sorry, back to the Bolos. Where were we? We were talking about blow molds. Blow molds and Valentine's Day, like that doesn't even make sense, but it does. I found multiple Valentine's Day blow molds, believe it or not. The most of which, I kept seeing this heart. This is Union is the brand on this. And this one, it looks like they took a best offer off of $99. This one, it just is electrified heart. Took a best offer off of $75. I did find one of the listings I had to know, and I had to satisfy your curiosity as well, because I knew you guys would want to know exactly what this thing looks like when it lights up, and this is what it looks like. I low-key kind of want to put this in my living room somewhere here. But again, I just kept seeing examples of this light selling. But then that got me to question, are there other Valentine blow molds that I don't know about? And which ones go for the most money? And that's when I found this listing. This is lighted blow mold lot of 2. So there's 2 different blow molds here. Stacked hearts and a brown bear from Cracker Barrel. $199.45 with free shipping. I don't know that I would have done free shipping on something 24 inches tall. This next one is also, this is actually a set of 3. You get that Union heart plus 2 bears. I think they undersold this one because the heart alone was going for practically this $109. But they did get $65.50 shipping as well. Again, just not a holiday that I would previously have associated with blow molds, but you know, those things are everywhere. My friends Ryan and Christine, Gulf Coast Pickers, have this huge alien blow mold, and I so want that thing again for my living room. Like, don't think I decorate super weird. It's just that I decorate super weird. I really want that thing for my living room, but he won't sell it. What is it about a blow mold? Collectors just absolutely love them. Next up is a vintage item that I feel like is fairly easy to reproduce. I don't necessarily understand why these sell for as much as they do in association with every holiday, because like I said before, it just seems like they would be so easily reproduced. But let's talk for a moment about these vintage melted popcorn plastic decor. Are people not still melting plastic? Like, could we just have a plastic melting party? Because these 3 pandas, they took a best offer off of $90. This love sign and heart, $65 plus shipping. A set of 2 cupids and 2 hearts with arrows, that's $40 plus another $30 shipping, guys. 70 bucks on that. Look at this, another love sign for $55. This skunk, this popcorn skunk, he sold for $50 plus $11 shipping, you guys. How many of you would just be walking right by that at the thrift store? Do not walk by these melted plastic popcorn decor. Valentine's Day is not the only day they sell for really good money, and more than what you would think. They just always sell. Did you really think we were gonna get a Bolo video and not talk about Christopher Radko? Of course we're gonna talk about Christopher Radko. He made ornaments for like every holiday ever. Tell me, are you one of those people that like keep your tree up? You decorate it for Valentine's Day, you decorate it for Halloween, you decorate it for the 4th of July. My neighbors had a tree out like that on their porch for a while, and I thought it was super cute. My mom even put out, I think, like a miniature tabletop tree for Easter once. It's a fun idea. So comment and let me know, are you that person? Because apparently there's plenty of those people, and they are Radko fans. Look at this Wings of Love 2001 Radko ornament that sold. They took a best offer from $55. If you can find this Valentine's Day garland, it is from 2005, and guys, it sells for over $200. $250 plus $5 shipping. There's no way I'm not sending this priority, so I'm not really sure why they did $5 shipping on it, but they got shipping also. Here is the little Queen of Hearts Italian Valentine ornament, Miss Valentine. She looks like the Queen of Hearts to me. $155. Took a best offer on that one. Same birds ornament, $135. $135 on that queen. $125 ornaments. Like, if I see something like that, how much does it look like something that Walmart sold, or maybe even early Dollar Tree? Remember when the Dollar Tree was like better quality stuff and they actually sold breakables? If I saw something like this in the thrift store, I might not look twice at it, but just remember, Christopher Radko is not just Christmas, not just Halloween. He is selling Valentine's Day stuff, or did, and if you can find it, it's gonna net you over $100 almost every time. One of my favorite childhood memories of Valentine's Day was that every year my parents or my grandma would buy us a heart-shaped box of chocolates. I've always bought my boys a heart-shaped box of chocolates as well. It's the only time of year you're gonna get the magic and mystery of what's inside each chocolate, because if you're looking at the map on the back, you're just cheating. But I can say that the way the boxes are decorated now, it's a little lackluster compared to how they were decorated when I was a kid. But when I look at the way that Valentine's Day boxes used to be decorated, we're talking 100 years ago, even 70 years ago, it's absolutely incredible. These things were an absolute work of art. Check out this one. This looks like a cake. This looks like a 1980s cake. The title is Vintage Blue Rose with Lace Heart-Shaped Valentine Candy Box. If you saw this, is there any part of you that would think, yeah, that's gonna sell for $265 with 45 bidders plus $15 shipping, you guys? And before you think, oh, it's pristine, it's probably brand new, never opened, the thing was stained. I did zoom in and get a picture of the back of this because I knew you guys were gonna wanna know what the markings were. It is Fannie Mae chocolates. This one doesn't even look like it's that old. I'm gonna say 80s? Does anyone have an idea on this? Well, if you see it, you better pick it up because it has sold more than once in the last 90 days for over $200. Here's another one that sold for $249 plus $25.60 shipping. That's crazy. They don't have to be blue though. Here's some pink and even peach examples. $175, $165, $152. Now I have seen less elaborate versions selling for $20, $30, but apparently it's worth auctioning these, because imagine if you thought you had one of those $30 or $40 versions. If that were the case, I would say start it at $40, run an auction, and let the buyers tell you what something like this is worth, because I'm seeing very few differences in one that sold for $40 and one that sold for $240. Again, let the market tell you what that's worth. Start at the lowest you would want to sell. Don't start at like $1 or anything crazy. $40, and then just let that price go. Here's a pretty simple version of a Valentine's Day box, white satin with this little purple silk flower, and it even sold for $25. This one man's trash, right? One man's trash. What kind of reseller would I be if I didn't tell you to look for a pink Stanley cup? Okay, 100 caveats here. Clearly, the market's flooded with these things, but there are a lot of collectors. And when a limited edition of something that is so trendy comes out, you gotta strike while the iron is hot. Now, some of the high listings that I found on these Stanley cups, this one I don't understand. Perhaps it's a fraudulent listing in the way that some black diamond VHS sell for $10,000 or $12,000. They don't really. This one has 4 bids though for $500. Another right below it for $450, and then immediately we're down to $260. But guys, the same cups, I'm seeing 2 of them for $200. That's on with 20 bids, so $100 a cup. Again, though, it's not small. I don't know how much a Stanley cup is new. Not advising you to run out and grab these, and one thing I'm certainly not doing is advising you to pick up anything like this when you find it at like an Amazon bin store, because there are a lot of fakes also. If I'm not mistaken, the cups retail for somewhere between $40 and $60, right? So tell me how these sellers are selling the Stanley cup for $35, $37. The top one comes straight out of China. I don't know if these would be authentic or not, so it's a bolo, but it's also be on the lookout for counterfeits. Anytime something is super trendy, there's gonna be a company that comes along and fakes it and wants to prey on your ignorance about how to tell the difference. So if you request it, we can do a how to tell if something's a fake Stanley cup. I don't know if there's a market for that here or not. So let me know if you need to see a video like that. When I think about Valentine's Day gifts, I think about chocolates, perfume, candy, stuffed animals, and guys, I found so many amazing stuffed animal bolos just for Valentine's Day. This first one is so cute, but I think that this lady makes these, so the chances of you finding it may be slim. I just wanted to bring it up because it is by far the most expensive plush that I found that was tagged Valentine or Valentine's Day. It sold for $400. It looks like it's a giant sleeping dragon and it has conversation hearts embroidered all over it. The seller's name is So Blue Creation. So again, I think she custom makes these and that's amazing. What is it? Is that thing like life-sized? It said in the description it was like a body pillow. Guys, that $400 price tag had 45 bids. If you saw this, you might think, oh, there's no tag on it, or this is custom or homemade. Yeah, it was custom made. It was homemade. 45 people wanted it. What's your favorite vintage stuffed animal brand? Is it Rushton? It's gotta be Rushton. These creepy rubber-faced creatures, they steal the show at every holiday, don't they? Valentine's Day is no exception. Here's a Rushton Star Creation Valentine rubber-faced fox in excellent condition from the 1950s. They took a best offer off of $300. And here's a cute little rubber-faced plush doll, Valentine's Day plush. He is standing. He sold for $300 with free shipping. This is the stuff nightmares are made out of for some people. The rubber faces on Rushton, they just really get me. 1950s white skunk. Skunks and Valentine's Day. Why does that go hand in hand? It is cute though. This one sold for $220. And here's a little rubber face mouse. He's only 8 inches tall and he's sold for $199 plus $12 shipping, guys. Rare or hard to find Squishmallow are also a really big deal at Valentine's Day. This frog with little hearts on his cheeks, that is so cute. Sold for $300 with free shipping. That's pretty cute too, right? 8 inches tall, 8 inches. He's not even like some jumbo one. And then I found one even smaller. It's a keychain. You're walking right past this at the yard sale, right past this at the thrift store. Do not, because this is Roxy the Valentine cat. She is a clip-on plush stuffed animal, very rare, very hard to find, and just sold on eBay for $199.99 plus $13 shipping. $213 for this Squishmallow keychain. 213 bucks. Tell me if your thrift store would have priced that more than like 50 cents. Gimme or Jimmy, you guys have told me in the past how to pronounce that and it eludes me again, but they also have Valentine's Day items. We're always seeing singing plush for Valentine's Day. This frog, he sings Who Put the Bop. That is really cute. And he sold for $185 plus shipping. I kept seeing this next item pop up, and when I saw it the first time, I thought maybe a fluke. I saw it a second time, and then I saw it a third time, and I was like, okay, these deserve a spot on the list today because I would see this and walk right by it. So there's potential there that you guys might do the same. This is the Littlest Pet Shop Valentine's Day set. It was a Target exclusive, and I'm just gonna show you a list of prices here. We've $175, $152, $130, $130, $125. Unless the seller messed up, I'm not seeing this for less than like $120. It's just a Littlest Pet Shop set. There's a poodle, a monkey. Apparently the set was put out in 2006, so it's not something that you're rushing to Target to get today. But if you find this 17-year-old Littlest Pet Shop, it's not even vintage. This one is a bolo. Did Germany just have like the highest quality pieces in the, 100 years ago, 200 years ago? Because German antiques, man, dude, they command a collector's market. I found these little candy containers. They are paper mache, and check out this first one, $404.99 with 23 bidders. There's so many of this Valentine's Day stuff that is like active auctions with multiple bidders. Here's one below it, and again, another paper mache heart, $395, $394 below it. So I clicked into one of these listings. I need to know, outside of just that heart, what are the identifying markers? How do we know? Obviously Dresden is a brand to look for in here, but it's not gonna be marked Dresden. So how do we know? I found this trim. It almost looks like a rickrack, but I think that's all like varnished and painted paper. This is what the trim looks like around the box. And inside it had this beautiful blue print. And if you zoom in there, it says Germany. There's a stamp that says Germany. That's it. That's the marking that you're looking for. That's the marking that's gonna bring you $400 for a paper heart box. Not even around Valentine's Day. I mean, I'd be interested to see after Valentine's Day, these things may go up even more. What do they sell for in the middle of July? Maybe I should check back holidays in July and see what does that stuff sell for now. I've always felt like maybe I have an interesting or obscure take on this, but a lot of people will say don't put out your holiday merchandise when it's not time for that holiday. But if everyone adheres to that and the demand is still there, because collectors will buy all year round, that means that the supply would be low. And when the demand is high and the supply is low, you can command even more for these collectible items. Think about it. Everyone has their Valentine's Day items out right now. So wouldn't you want to be the seller who owned the market in July or November when collectors are still collecting? Lifetime collectors of Valentine's Day memorabilia are not suddenly not collecting in October. It's food for thought, and I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Department 56. Much like Radko, not just a Christmas item. Department 56 houses, they were all over the search results. They infiltrated my research for Valentine's Day Bolos all over eBay. Two houses in particular. The first one is this little corner. It's a card shop from the Snow Village. $350, $300. The second one was this little house, this Snow Village. I'm sorry, it's not a house. It's a chapel of love, and it sells for over $200. So again, Department 56 that is not Christmas can really net you quite a bit. If you see little ceramic houses like that, pick them up, see if they are embossed with Department 56 on the bottom. I feel like Pier 1 Imports is so hit and miss, but lately they've been getting more attention as like a cool vintage brand. Pier 1 Imports, I feel like that store when I walked in just made me think of like Dharma and Greg or something. It was very boho, very eclectic, with like a Middle Eastern feel. Anyone else think of that about Pier 1 Imports? This item doesn't really fit any of those describing qualities. It's a Pier 1 Imports King and Queen of Hearts. They're 12-inch tall figures, and they sold for $455. There were 43 bids, you guys. If I find those at the thrift, I'm thinking 20, 40 bucks, not 10, 11 times that. That's insane. Congratulations to whoever sold those. Every time I do these Bolo videos, I learn something about whatever holiday or genre that I am researching, and this one is no exception. I learned about these Rosbro brand, that is a tongue twister, Rosbro brand. I learned about Rosbro brand Valentine candy holders. Did you know this was a thing? Some of them don't even have markings. They are hard plastic candy holders and not in a traditional box sense. Here's a look at one listing for them. These are three, they roll, they have these springy bobbleheads. Yeah, they're called candy holders, and I'm not really sure on these particular ones where the candy goes, or maybe it was just attached to it. You're gonna see on a few more examples that I have, it's kind of obvious that maybe it was something the size of a Skittle or something. These sold for $395 plus $865 shipping. Here's one that's like a horse-drawn wagon, and I don't know, what is that guy like? He looks like he's sliding down the reins or something. $250 sale plus $9.80 shipping. And these two happy guys that are in a car, 7.5-inch long container here, a little plastic toy, $325. Here's what the back of it looks like. That's where I think that maybe the candy went originally. I'm not really sure. Here's one that is 1950s. Again, that Rosbro brand, sold for $199 on its own, plus $6.61 shipping. You have this pair that sold with 12 bidders for $152.50. They're just little plastic toys, but apparently the keyword is candy holder. They're cute. I just didn't know where they were worth so much. Who remembers how teachers used to decorate, it seems like unendingly, with these honeycomb pattern decorations? It was like a tissue paper honeycomb that you unfolded. It made this beautiful three-dimensional decoration. It seems like a newer technology, but that paper folding art dates way back. And if you can find some old ones, 1950s is great, but some of them are even older. Vintage honeycomb Valentine decorations are definitely definitely a major eBay bolo. How about these intricate designs? Some of these are close to 100 years, maybe more than 100 years old. $87 for this one, $76.01 for the cat sitting on the couch here. This one is an antique German pop-up Valentine's Day card. So again, some of them are decorations and some of them are Valentine's cards. Look at these vintage standing ones, $99.95. And this 1960s Valentine centerpiece sold for $97.50. Here's a lot of heart honeycomb decorations for $150. Definitely look into those. If you cannot identify it, if there are no markings or there's no packaging, then try Google Lens. If you've never tried Google Lens, it's a free app. Anyone can use it. You don't have to be an Android user. It is Android or Apple. What you do on Google Lens is just take a picture. You can upload that photo to Google Lens, or you can take a picture with Google Lens, and Google searches the internet for photos that match the photo that you just submitted. So it's like searching the internet on Google, but with a photo. If you never tried it, you have to try it. It's not a way to comp out items, but it is a way to identify items, and then with those identifying words, go find your own comp. That's gonna do it for today, guys. I am gonna keep smelling the roses. Thanks again to Rose Forever. Again, check that description, guys, for the link and all of the discount codes. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless. And remember, treat your business like your business.